Hello, my name's Nikki and welcome to my Facebook group that I've created for women who are currently stuck in life and a little voice that knows that their life could be somewhere different but have no idea on how to go about it. So I want to tell you a story about a little girl who was not always a happy child, but did have a lot of happy memories. This little girl, when she reached 13, her mum was diagnosed with cancer. And so her mum had to go through bouts of chemo, which were quite distressing for her to see. Her mum had always been like really, really strong. And so seeing her in this sort of weakened state and crying and in pain was devastating for her to watch. And she started taking time off school to stay at home and to look after her mum, help keep the house clean, make lunch, etc. And while doing all of this, learnt that she had a value in helping her mum, trying to make her mum feel better in whatever way that she could. And then sort of 9-10 months passed and the chemo had finished anyway. Her mum ended up in hospital and there was an appointment with the doctor, or a meeting with the doctor. And her dad did say to her, this could be bad news. So in her mind, bad news was going to be that her mum was going to have to go for even more chemo and suffer that distress all over again. So there is she's in this meeting. There's all her family around, her dad's there, doctor's there. He's saying a lot of things that she doesn't understand, it's going over her head. And then her sister asked the question, so how long has she got? And the response from the doctor was weeks to maybe a couple of months. And yeah, this completely shattered her world, to be honest. So there is she's sitting at her mum's bed in the hospital. It's December, so there's all these people obviously looking forward to Christmas and everything that comes with it. And there she is, she's looking at her mum and thinking, the world has got to come to an end, because how on earth is it gonna carry on without her mum in it? So she can't obviously see beyond this. Her mum did lose her battle. She lost her battle on New Year's Eve. Again, there's everyone celebrating, and this is what's going on. This is what's going on in her little world. And then, following her mum's death, her dad took it really, really badly. He hadn't always been the best partner to her mum, always thinking there was probably something better out there. Cheated, not that she could really remember any of it. Various things, and didn't really treat her mum in the way that she should have been treated. So through this, he then turned to drink, and was permanently in the pub. So there's this young girl. She's just lost her mum. Her dad's not there. She's phoning around all the pubs looking for him. And then when someone would say, right, it's okay, he's here, I've put him to bed, then right, she can go to sleep at least in ease to get up and go to school the next day. So because of that, she almost tells herself that she's alone in the world. Dad's not there. He's suddenly abandoned her. Mum's not there. She's gone, not because she wanted to, but she's gone anyway. So abandoned by mum, abandoned by dad. And this young girl is craving love and belonging. So she gets into a relationship with someone. He's a little bit older than her. He's 18. Anyway, ultimately, he's very abusive physically and emotionally. So she's being beaten. She doesn't tell anyone. He constantly threatening that if anyone walks in, he's gonna kill them. So yeah, she's now trapped in this relationship. Which, fair play to her, she had the strength to get out of it reasonably quickly. It was only 15 months, so she comes out of that, and then meets somebody else who again is a lot older. She's 16 at this point. He's 25, and yeah, so gets into a relationship with him, falls pregnant, and then he abandons her. So there she is on her own again, but she's okay. She's doing all right. No, I've got my baby. My baby's never gonna leave me. So along she goes. Dad kicks her out because he's not happy. He's not happy with the boyfriend that she had. Not happy that she's pregnant. So he kicks her out. But that's fine. Kick me out. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna do this anyway. Is what she's thinking. So she has the baby, and then 18 months later, the father of the child decides he wants to come back. So he is also manipulative, and so convinces her anyway to get back with him, because she was like, no, I don't want this anymore. But yeah, convinces, and she's there and she's thinking, right, well, this is best for the baby, so it's his dad, so yeah, should go along with this. So along they go. Then he convinces her, right, we should get married. So she agrees to that because, right, that will make him happy, make the baby happy, and make all these people happy. So goes along. On the wedding day, walking up the aisle, she's there thinking, I can get a divorce, I can get a divorce, I can get a divorce. Not really probably the best start to a marriage, but there she goes. So she's in this marriage. He's still quite manipulative. He doesn't treat her as she knows that she should be. So she has this little voice all the time that's like, this isn't what I want. This isn't how I should be being treated. So eventually, 7 years later, gets the courage to end the marriage. So in walking out of the marriage, and she knows that she's hurt him, so her guilt, she leaves him at the house, she walks away, she goes back home to dad's. So actually starts, enjoying life, enjoying the peace of mind of not being emotionally tormented. Life is good. And while life is good, she actually meets somebody, and she goes into it not really thinking it's going to go anywhere, but ultimately this relationship starts blossoming, and in her eyes it's the perfect relationship. He's everything that she ever wanted. He's not manipulative. He's faithful. He's committed. he's everything, and she thinks, you know, that this is forever. So there they are, blissfully happy, going along. And then one day, out of the blue, he says he doesn't know how he feels about her. So again, Weld is just completely shattered, didn't see that coming. Yeah, absolutely devastated, and is doing everything in her power to cling on to this relationship with everything in her being, every bone in her body, just everything, just like trying to hold on for dear life. And the more she holds on, the more he keeps pulling away, the more he pulls away, the more she keeps holding on, until eventually, again, she's the one that leaves the home. She can't afford it on her own, so she leaves, and subsequently sends herself on a spiral down a complete pit, of here I am alone again. What did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? What could I have done different? Yeah, and because of all of these feelings of despair, and grief, and yeah, just sheer despair, really. She turns to drink for escape, turns to drugs, and just has a complete disregard for her life. She don't want to live. So if taking all of these drugs, she doesn't wake up in the morning, well, so be it. Then she's no longer going to be in pain. And then during this time, her sister asked her if she would move in with her. Her sister had just split up with her husband, can't afford her house, etc. So she agrees. She didn't really want to, because she didn't want her sister to see her in the emotional turmoil that she's in. Doesn't want to be a burden. But however, you know, her sister needs her, so she agrees to move in. Her sister had previously been diagnosed with breast cancer twice, and just before moving in, her sister got diagnosed for a third time. So she moves in with her sister, and they go on this journey, and her sister has an operation, a double mastectomy, to, you know, get rid of the cancer that's there. And obviously the hope is that on doing this, it will never come back again. She convinces her sister that she should be tested, to see if she's got the gene, because this is now the third time. And her sister goes along with it. She's like, right, well, you know, if you do have the gene, and let's face it, we all think you do, then, you know, you will then actually be able to protect your daughter. She can get tested, she can get checked, and if she does have the gene as well, at least they're gonna, you know, do whatever to prevent this from ever happening to her. So she goes along with it, and ultimately it comes back that she's got the gene, and she's absolutely devastated and in fear of, like, right, well, it's just gonna keep coming back. But she's had the operation, and then time goes by, and actually she learns that that her siblings don't have the gene, her children don't have the gene. So the sister is actually, you know, quite happy with the fact that she hasn't passed her genes along. And then they are just enjoying living together, going out, enjoying themselves. And and yeah, just, you know, just enjoying the space. Although that doesn't stop this young girl still, you know, sort of being deeply unhappy, then getting herself into another very non-committed relationship, and still drinking, doing drugs, although the sister that's ill doesn't know this. And lo and behold, one day this guy just disappears, but it's fine because she knew that that's what was going to happen anyway, and she's not really committed to him, so no big deal. So off he goes. But in when he goes, actually, she then does stop taking drugs. Then the sister that she's living with then gets diagnosed with secondary breast cancer. So it's come back. It's still there, but it's spread. It's gone somewhere else. Because it's secondary, it means it's terminal. So she can't survive this. They can give her treatment, they can do whatever, and it's just going to prolong it. So there they are again. They're still, you know, the two sisters. They're still together. The healthy one is again, you know, sort of doing whatever she can to make her sister's life as good as it possibly can. And actually, the sister that's terminal, teaches her things that she would have never have learned if it wasn't for the situation. So the sick sister doesn't want to just have whatever treatment that's going to make her feel like crap. She wants quality. She wants to just enjoy whatever time that she has got. She wants to spend time with her kids. She wants to go on holiday with her kids. She wants to spend time with her siblings, and just enjoy and have quality in the time that she's got left, rather than just trying to hold on to it, and be in pain and be suffering with the treatments, etc. So eventually the sister does lose her battle, and again there is she's now on her own again, and then what ensues after that is ultimately she ends up losing her home again, because the home was in the sister's name, and so she gets evicted. So she's all alone. She's lost another home, and so again, in this feeling of alone, has, you know, a yearning for being in a relationship with someone that's, you know, that's going to look after her, that's going to protect her, that's going to be there for her. So there she goes again, gets into a relationship, lo and behold, with another emotionally manipulative person. So again, quite early on, she knows she's not happy. She's not happy in this relationship. He's not treating her as she should be. She's still got this little voice, little person on her shoulder going, this is not what you want. This guy is almost like a mirror image of a first husband. But however, in being with him, she makes her dad happy because he's worried about her staying on her own forever. She doesn't want to hurt this guy's feelings, so she doesn't want to end up a relationship with him. So along she goes with this thing, knowing it's not right for her, but, you know, hey, she's keeping everyone else happy, so yeah, let's just go with this. This guy decides he wants to take her on holiday. He wants to take her on holiday to Malta. She had wonderful memories there as a kid with her mum and dad. But if she goes on this holiday, her dad's been asking her for years to take him or to go there with him, to reminisce about, you know, all those good memories, etc. So he books this holiday for her and her dad, and great. So they're gonna go on this holiday. She's not really looking forward to this holiday because she knows she's going to get pulled. She's going to get pulled between her dad wanting her attention, this man wanting her attention. So she's not really looking forward to it. And anyway, however, she doesn't want to upset her dad by saying she's not going to go. She doesn't want to. She does mention it to this guy, or maybe we shouldn't go on this holiday. And anyway, he's very adamant. I'm going. I'm not losing the money. I'm going on this holiday. So off they go on this holiday that's going to be about reminiscing about all of these good memories and, you know, the happy childhood memories of her there with her mum and her dad and the good times that they had. And yeah, so her dad wants to go back to the beach that they spent time on. He wants to go back to the bars where they were. He wants to, again, you know, go back to all these happy memories. So off they go on this holiday. Within a day of going into that holiday, so yep, dad wants to go to this bar, partner wants to go to that bar. Right, here she is. She's already being torn between the two. And so yeah, there they are. She's already not having fun, and we're only 1 or 2 days in, and we're supposed to be here for 2 weeks. Then the dad realizes the beach that they've been going to it's not the same beach. It's not the same beach as where mum and dad and this young girl went. So the young girl goes Googling it, finds the right beach. So on the 3rd day, they get to this beach, and there they are. So the partner goes into the water, and he's like, oh my God, like, you know, the fish and blah, blah, blah is all, you know, it's great. It's much better than the other beach that we was at. But on the downside, it's a little bit steep. So it gets deep quite quickly. So this young girl's thinking, might need to keep an eye on dad, because the day before he'd fallen over. So right, we'll keep an eye on him anyway, because he's saying about all the fish and da-da-da. So she decides she's going to go and get in the water, and she's just going to, you know, be looking at these fish. So there she is. She's only there for 10, maybe 15 minutes, comes out of the water. And then there's the partner on the beach, but no dad. Right, well, where's dad gone? All right, well, dad's gone into the water to follow you. So she then looks back out of the water, and she's trying to look for the little orange tip of his snorkel. So she's, you know, looking and looking. Anyway, she can't see this tip. So panic starts setting in. And it seems like she's looking for him for an eternity. As it is, it wasn't really. It's about 5 minutes. And then the worst thing happens, that in the corner of her eye, she then sees someone being dragged out of the water. So just complete panic, and goes running over. And again, the absolute worst fear is realised. It's her dad. So she's standing there, she's looking down, there's all these people around him, and they are performing CPR. And she herself, she goes and performs CPR. She's doing the breath of life. And she's not really able to manage it, so allows all these other people to carry on. And time is going past, and she's looking and thinking, he's not going to wake up. An ambulance comes. They don't do CPR. They just more or less looked like they just threw this body onto the trolley, take him off. She can't go in the ambulance. She has to drive. She has to drive to the hospital. Partner can't drive. So anyway, there she is. She drives to the hospital, and ultimately he hasn't made it. So she's now got in complete shock. How has this happened? And there again are those feelings that she's been abandoned. He's abandoned her again. So they stay in Malta. They wait for her dad to go home first. She's not going to leave him alone. He goes home. She follows. She has such guilt towards her siblings because in making the choice to go on this holiday that she didn't even want to go on, this is what's happened. She's stolen their dad. And so yeah, she's really not in a very good place, needless to say. So go home, and then lo and behold, she then gets evicted out of this house. This is dad's house, and because the dad's not there, she can't stay there anymore. So loses dad, loses her home. This is her childhood home. This is where she grew up. This is all the memories of her mum. But there we go. You can't stay here. You've got to leave. So financially, again, there's only so much that she can do on her own. So she stays with the partner, and they go and get a flat. And still, in her grief, in her despair, she goes and gets help. She goes to a counsellor. Transpires she has PTSD, so she goes and sees a psychologist. And in the meanwhile, the partner is telling her that she's mentally unstable, that she's nuts, that she's mad. And admitted she has the strength to actually laugh this off, because she knows, I'm not mad, I'm not nuts. I saw something that was deeply traumatic, and how I'm feeling is perfectly normal, and it's your problem if you can't see that. It is not her problem. So along she goes anyway, still staying in this relationship. And then again, that little voice in the back of her head, there is more to life. There is more to life than this. You don't deserve this. You don't have to put up with this. This is not right. You know it. So ultimately she gets the courage to end this relationship. But however, this time she's not moving, she's not leaving, she's not going anywhere. So she's scared that she's not going to be able to afford it all. But however, it's the point that it's like there's no other choice. I have to leave this relationship. So you've got strength. You come through all these things, so you can do this. So she has the courage, and she ends this relationship. And again, she actually ends up in a good place, and she does manage to keep the flat going, and then she's going along. But again, there's sort of this yearning for love, of belonging, of not being alone. So yeah, she's actually, she's putting herself out there. She's, going back to like old friends. So she's socializing. There is some drink involved, but it's not anything excessive. There's no escapism going in, but she's just enjoying this newfound peace of mind. So anyway, a guy comes back into her life that she had a bit of a thing with 10 years before, when she was with living with her sister. And so anyway, they sort of have a bit of a fling again. But again, he most certainly definitely has a fear of commitment. And she knows anyway that this guy isn't right for her. So he blows her out again, and actually she sort of fully accepts this. It was like, yeah, fine. Anyway, go on a couple of months. She, in the meanwhile, agrees to go out for a date with someone. And again, this guy, she knows he can't commit to her. He cannot commit to her. She knows that he can't commit to her. but she goes along with it anyway. And then within a couple of months of, you know, sort of seeing this guy, she then goes to the pub one day and learns that the other one that she had the fling with 10 years previously, he went to bed and he didn't wake up. And the effect of that on her was a real moment of grasping her own mortality. That's like, right, she's now 49 years old. She's going to be 50 the following year. She's already learned, you know, her mum died at 42, her sister died at 52. You know, her dad taught her that on a flip of a coin, you just not waking up in the morning. And now this guy, he's gone to bed and he just hasn't woken up. It's just like, do you know what? Either get busy living or get busy dying. So you need to just enjoy the hell out of life. And in doing so, you're going to be honouring these 4 people that have all lost their life too soon, that didn't get to live to their full potential and just love life for everything that life has to offer. So she, you know, she's come to this realization, and then, you know, looking at various different things or whatever on the internet anyway, comes across this thing on her Facebook, and it is to do coaching. She doesn't really know what coaching is anyway. This course, it's for women, it's about empowering women, all these various different things. For whatever the reason, it resonates with her anyway. She signs herself up for this thing, and in doing so, she then learns that she has been living her whole life through this belief that she's not worthy, she's not enough, she deserves to be alone. And so actually this woman has created all of these relationships based on a fear of, I'm meant to be alone, so I'm going to keep going into relationships with these non-committed people who consistently show her that she's not worthy, that she's not deserving, and who consistently are going to leave her, so she's consistently going to be on her own. And through this journey, she finally is fully awakened to her worthiness and the things that she deserves in life. And she also learns that because of her fear of being alone, she went into every single relationship in fear of committing herself, and so attracted like-minded people who were afraid of committing, who wouldn't commit to her. And then through learning all of these things about herself, then had a desire to want to teach other women that they can have what they deserve. They are worthy, they are deserving, they deserve love, they deserve appreciation, they deserve being treated so much better than what they've been tolerating up until this point. That I have to do anything, that I have to be any other way to make them more deserving than they already are. You see the truth of themselves, the truth of their value, and yeah, just the truth of what they have created in their life. And once they can see the truth of what they've created and realize they made it that way and they created it, but if they created that, what else can they create that is in line with their worthiness, their deserving, their lovability? What would they, you know, when they know what they're worth, what will they bring to other people? Will they just open their hearts and let other people in? And by doing that, then seeing the difference in how other people treat them, that other people see their worth, and then seeing also the ones that don't see their worth, and they realize what are they tolerating from them people, and able to walk away and let them people go, and not with hate, not with bitterness, not with the feeling of being a victim, just seeing it for the truth that it is, that ultimately these people are treating me like this because they don't know their worth. And that young girl, I'm sure you've probably already realized, that was me. That was me living this life of feeling like I just deserve to be alone for my whole life, and therefore going into all of these relationships and going to everything in life with no real commitment, because I wasn't committed to me. I didn't give me that commitment. I didn't give me that value. I didn't allow me to be treated with the worthiness and the value that I deserved. And now I am at a point where my life is not perfect, but however, I am creating a life that I truly am enjoying living. I just happy just to be me. And whilst everything isn't perfect in life, I am creating all of the things that I want, and understanding that yes, I do hold value in helping other people. So my intention is to help other women who, just like me, are living from a place of not loving themselves, not valuing themselves, living from a place of all of these limits that make us keep creating a life that we are worth so much more than, and then actually being able to see that and start living that life. So here am I today, truly living the life that I love, seeing the truth of I was never abandoned. I was never abandoned, not even by my dad when my mum died. My dad was stuck in a place of grief, of guilt, because of how he treated my mum, that he also had no worth, that he also lacked the commitment, the belief in committing to my mum. Then the realization of, in trying to keep everybody else happy, how whilst there were times when it made me happy, but there are also times like going on that holiday that led me to such misery, and how putting my own happiness in other people's hands gave them the control to take it away from me. And yeah, just by seeing all of these things. So I moved out of the flat. I moved into a house that I love. I've created the money to be able to afford to live in the house. I am showing up different in my relationships with my siblings. I have seen the truth in how my own fear of committing to other people in romantic relationships has attracted other people who have that same fear of commitment. How my lack of worth has allowed me to be in these relationships where they're constantly mirroring to me, where they're showing me the evidence that I am not worthy. I'm not worthy of having the relationship that I want. I'm not worthy of being treated how I know I should be. I hope that some of the things that I've shared in my story, one, show you that there have been times in my life that have been truly traumatic, and that in showing you that I have been vulnerable, but here am I having courage in sharing that with you, that maybe you can relate, that maybe you've been in similar situations, and that you, just like me, can finally sort of ask yourself, what if I could create that life for me, that I can create a life that I'm deserving of, that I'm worthy of? What if I can have that belief in myself that I am enough, that I am worthy, that I am lovable, that I can have this life? What if I can? What if I can create these things, and what if actually everything goes right for me? How will I feel? How am I going to feel? What is that life going to be like? What if? That's such a powerful question. And so often we think, what if it all goes wrong? But what if it all goes right? What if? Well, what if the worst happens? But what if the best happens? And what other opportunities are out there? What other possibilities are there? There is the possibility that the worst is going to happen. There's the possibility that the absolute best thing is going to happen. And then how many possibilities are there in between both of those that can also happen? And when you live from this place of self-worth and self-love and fully accepting yourself unconditionally with all your flaws, with all your faults, but loving them anyway, and realizing that even your faults, they give you strengths, they give you just as many good things as they do bad things. In feeling alone for the majority of my life has allowed me to see that in other people, which then makes me sympathize and empathize with them, and makes me want to connect with them and show them that they're not alone. So it has given me as many strengths and good things as it gave me bad things. So now I can finally live past the fear, past the doubts, and see just the true possibilities of what are out there. And it is such an amazing place to be, such an amazing place to live from. And the things that have started showing up in my life, money just seems to come to me. I have a full knowing and faith and belief in myself that no matter what comes at me in life, never, ever, ever will I go back down a place of despair. And even if I did, I've got the strength in myself to pull myself back out of that. What strengths do you have? What experiences in life have you had that can show you what your strengths are that you've pulled yourself out of. What things have you created in life that show you all your negative beliefs, that show you your lack of worth, that show you the belief that you aren't worthy, that you aren't lovable, that you're not deserving, that you are alone? Because you will be doing things. You are responsible for what you've created. You're responsible for who you've brought into your life that mirror all the things that you see in yourself. And what things would you like to see in yourself that you will then attract people that then show you this new belief that you are worthy, that you are valuable, that you are enough, that you can have a life that you love, that you can just truly enjoy life, that you can do everything that you've ever dreamed of, that you can have it all. And I promise you, if you join this group, if you listen to the things that I would like to teach you, and if you go into it with an open mind of where could this lead, what difference could this make, maybe it could be the best thing that you ever did. Just like me signing up to a coach was the best thing that I ever did. I didn't see any of those limits in myself, and now I can. And now I could almost kick myself. Why have I waited to be 50 to learn these things? However, do you know what? Better late than never. Better to learn it now than never to have learned it at all, and to die and to have never have lived feeling like I do today. I'm sure life is still going to send me things that's hard, but I know I have the strength to get through them. I know it's not personal, and I know that there is always something that you can learn and you can then take forward. And I'm not alone. If I never, ever, ever have another romantic relationship that's what I deserve, and I don't believe that is going to be how my life is, I'm still not alone. I have my siblings, I have my son, I have friends. And on top of that, there is something bigger. There is something bigger than myself. There is a higher power that has given me all of these things in life to put me exactly where I am. I'm not alone. I'm not alone because, one, I have myself. I have my own back. I have all these people in my life that I love. I have all these people in my life that love me, that have always seen my worth, even if I couldn't see it, who are there cheerleading and supporting me. Since learning how to coach, I have a team of people around me who are my tribe, who are on the same journey as me, who are learning their own worth, who can see my worth, who are supporting me. And equally, there are people like you that I want to be able to show you the light, almost show you the life that you could have. And I've seen it already. I have had so many clients, and just by talking to them and asking them questions has allowed them to have moments of clarity where they are then on the start of that journey of transforming their belief in themselves. And by transforming their belief in themselves, the opportunities then to transform their entire life and live a life that they truly love, that they truly just enjoy. So that when the end comes, as it will for all of us, it's like, hey, that was just the best thing. And I have left so much value to all of those that I've left behind, and that they can carry on living their life, knowing that they they were a massive part of my life, and they did make me happy, and they supported me, and they, you know, they inspired my journey, and that I can go knowing that I impacted other people, that I inspired them to go and live the life that they love. So thank you for listening. I hope that this has given you pause for thought. At best, I hope that this has at least left you with what if I leave my limits behind? What if I can live a life that I truly love and desire? And start having that belief that you can have that life, and you can have that life so fast if you just believe in yourself and go into it with an open mind, and yeah, just see the changes that come from that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and yeah, I hope that you too, like me, give yourself that opportunity to have that life, and to have that love and that belief in yourself that allows you to stop tolerating the crap that you're currently putting up with, whether that be in work, whether that be in family, friends, romantic relationships, whether that be in work, no matter how that's showing up in your life. I really, really do hope that for you. So thanks for listening.